Right now, we are about to go through our pantry overhaul. And this part is really important because changing the foods that you have on hand and acclimating to them, that's a small step. So your meals, the sizes of the meals, the portion sizes can stay the same, but switching out the type of carb that you're having, making it something that's more easily digestible to your system will help your system work for you instead of against you. Against you means inflammation. Against you means backing you up, means a number of things. The texture of your skin, the hydration of your skin, your moods, your sleep patterns, all of that stuff is affected by your food. So join me. We are going into my kitchen. Yes, my kitchen. Hello. Really cute. So now, no judgment. I'm not necessarily asking you what you have in your pantry, but I'm just going to offer you some solutions or some slight tweaks that you can make. I don't eat a lot of carbohydrates. When I do, I have rice, which is gluten-free. I have pastries, which I make myself, that are gluten-free. So let's maybe start there. Okay. So if you tend to bake a lot, or if you don't, if you guys snack a lot or tend to like cookies and things like that, I'm going to inspire you to make them yourself. And you do that by having a certain kind of ingredient on hand. I don't know if you can see my little labels with the way that the sun is glistening off their containers. But I have quick oats, which are gluten-free. I have oat flour. That's my go-to flour for baking. That is gluten-free. I have white rice flour. I have brown rice flour. I have tapioca flour behind there. And then I have, these are dog treats. They're almost empty. I have organic old-fashioned oats. Now, I don't have celiac disease, so gluten doesn't cause anaphylaxis. So I tend to choose foods, if they don't have a gluten-free option, I choose foods that don't naturally have gluten in them. Companies such as Bob's Red Mill, Arrowhead Mills, things that also produce flours and grains that have gluten in them will specify what is gluten-free. And the reason they do that is because it's made in the same facility. So there's different sections of the facility that are gluten-free, so people that have celiac disease and less of a tolerance for gluten can be safe. So for me, when I'm making them at home, I know nobody with celiac is eating them, so I choose the option that doesn't say gluten-free, but that is gluten-free. It's just made in a facility with gluten. And I have organic gluten-free sugar cookie mix. I mean, come on, that's for the holidays. For the holidays, folks. So now moving on to meals. Pastas. Bertolli, is that the name of the brand that you get in the blue box? They now have a gluten-free option for gluten-free ziti. I have gluten-free penne and gluten-free ziti from them. And over here I keep some of my other pastas in my other pantry that is slightly less organized, but always a little bit organized. So I have my ziti, and then I have this. This is one of my favorites as well. This one tends to have a little nuttier of a taste. It's the chickpea pasta. It comes in like a, I'll get the brand for you guys, and when I create this into a blog post, it comes in like a reddish orange box. Pretty good. The difference with the chickpea pasta is when you boil it, it creates more of like a paste in the water, which can be alarming, but it still tastes pretty good. Pastas. Rice. Generally, all rice is gluten-free. People ask questions all the time about things being gluten-free that don't have any wheat in them, which that is what gluten is. I need to close this pantry. Gluten is a component of wheat. So generally, if there's not wheat in something, there's not gluten in something. So it's just funny when certain products are labeled gluten-free that would never have gluten in them anyway, but it's just because people don't have that awareness and it makes it look healthier that's like a sales pitch. Okay, what else? Ooh, this is a good one. So this is from Whole Foods. I know it's backwards because I'm using portrait mode or whatever you call it on the camera, but it's a gluten-free spinach fettuccine, and this is really the best one that I've had. The brand is Taste Republic, and you get it kind of by the deli section in Whole Foods. They have organic pastas that are refrigerated. They're fresh and they're refrigerated. Quesadillas I make for Sawyer. So Mission now has really, really great gluten-free tortillas, and they also have spinach tortillas. Cheerios and Chex, cinnamon Chex, Sawyer really likes. Both are gluten-free, and that's just helpful. You know, I tend to forget about myself when I'm in the car with her breakfast, and I can eat them too. That's the pantry overload. Not yet. I keep seeing things, guys. I get excited. Okay. Enjoy life. These are chocolate chips. They're dairy-free chocolate chips. So they are a bit sweeter than the higher percentage of a cacao chip or dark chocolate. Dark chocolate tends to be a little bit bitter, but these taste like actual chocolate chips and they do not have dairy in them. So I use the minis and the megas. Maybe we can get into sweeteners really quick. Maple syrup is my go-to. I usually buy organic maple syrup. Is very expensive, folks. So when you can, do it. We tend to use the glass jar for the drizzle, but I get this one. Kirkland maple syrup. We were on sweeteners. Stay on task, Jocelyn. Coconut sugar. Coconut sugar. I do have brown sugar when you want to just bugger off and have something that, you know, is not 100% by the book, which the book would be my book of refined sugar free. So brown sugar and coconut sugar are interchangeable. The brown sugar is a little bit sweeter, but coconut sugar is fairly expensive, but it's also, coconut palm sugar does not affect your blood sugar by spiking it like regular table sugar does. So for people that are borderline diabetic or people with diabetes or, you know, anyone, coconut sugar is a better option for that. And we tend to use that mostly when making muffins and things that I consume on the regular. Yes, sweeteners. Cool. Honey is another one. Local honey, and my friend, Hidden Haven Farm Organic Honey, Milton, Georgia. I mean, amazing. So they have their own bees, they make their own honey. Local honey and local bee pollen, which comes as a powder, is really great if you have seasonal allergies like I do. You can add the bee pollen powder to your smoothies in the morning, and you can add your honey to anything. You can drizzle and use it like maple syrup. You can use it in your baking. And because they're local bees, they tend to have the local allergens in them when they're pollinating. So by you ingesting them, it helps to keep your allergies at bay. Did you know that? Isn't that cool? I feel like I'm talking to Sawyer. I always say, isn't that so cool? Gluten-free bars. So the Think Thin bars, I tend to grab and go. Perfect Food bars, the chocolate chip ones, the peanut butter ones, all of them are really good. There's an almond butter chocolate one that's really greasy that I don't like for eating in the car. But these are like in a rush when we're running out the door. I have that with my coffee. And Sawyer has her little kids. And the reason that they're different sizes, guys, I don't know if you know this already, 7 grams of protein in this versus the 20 that's in the adult version. Because our bodies are different sizes and because our bodies break down proteins and things like that differently based on how much we need to be consuming, right? Different sized humans, different energy outputs require different calories coming in because we're burning differently what's going out. So just be mindful when you're giving your kids snacks that they don't need 500 calories for breakfast. I'm not a big person on calorie counting, but when it comes to my child and when it comes to what she's asking for, like, of course she wants the bigger one. It's peanut butter and chocolate, but we have to be the parent and say, you can either have half, let's split it, which I do sometimes, or give her the smaller one by the version for the kids. We can also make our own cereal bars and breakfast bars, which will be part of this, this spring cleaning journey. See her high chair and all of my work in the dining room. Welcome to my life. I like to be organized, but sometimes things get a mess. Anyway, so that is my pantry, and that is the first step in detoxifying your pantry or taking the inflammation out of your pantry. If your family is not into trying it right now, that's fine. It does take a little bit of extra work to make 2 separate things, but if you're just making a different pasta for yourself, you obviously don't need to make as much. If you're making rice, that's fine, so be it. Macaroni and cheese, things like that. I wouldn't personally eat that. My daughter eats it. There are gluten-free versions. There are organic versions. Mostly what's in my pantry is based on baking and based on the carbs that I do like to have, which is a tortilla, which is bread sometimes, which is occasionally pasta, but I'm not a big pasta person. If I go out or if I order in from an Italian place, I'll get pasta, and a lot of places do have the gluten-free version now. So that being said, the excuses, folks, slim to none at this point. Everything is accessible that you need to take the gluten out of your body. And the reason that I want you to take it out of your body is because it causes inflammation. And listen, you do not have to do anything that you don't want to do. Maybe you're like, I'm going to keep my gluten. Thank you. I'm going to keep my gluten, and I'm going to try to eliminate dairy for a little while. Or I'm going to try to eliminate snacking. Or I'm going to try to eliminate processed foods. Any step that you take is beneficial. So you can still follow along with what we're doing and kind of choose your own adventure as you go. And that's why I'm here. I want you guys to be able to email me or call me, text me if you sign up for my program to help you along the way, because I don't want anybody to do something that's not sustainable for them. The whole point of this is not a quick fix and you just go back to your old habits. It's to teach you and to change your taste buds and to build that awareness of how you can take these little steps to completely change how you feel and the quality of life. So stick with me. I'm here for you. And hopefully all of these things will start the first week in April. Stay tuned.